Hi guys, this is Ahyat Ishak and you are watching Ahyat Property TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we're going to look into Australia, and there's a news that I like to highlight, and it's about lending. So apparently, according to this article on iProperty.com, property lending increases across most of Australia, latest figure shows. Now this is kind of interesting because it tells us a lot about the Australian market. For those of you who are already investing in Australia, this could be an article that would interest you as an Australian investor in Australian properties. Now, well, the biggest news, of course, in the first paragraph, it mentions the strengthening of market activity. Now, according to the latest figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, so that's like Jabatan Statistics Negara, right? So loans for construction and purchase of new homes up over 10% compared with the previous month. Now, there was also an increase in lending for the purchase of existing homes, 5.9% in value terms in March compared with February, and up 6.2% in the first quarter of the year. Now if you can see here, the total number of seasonal adjusted loans to occupiers increased by 8%. That's the highest in New South Wales, 5.3% in South Australia, and in Victoria, 4.3% in Tasmania, and so on. So there's a lot of things. Lowest being in Queensland, 1.8%, and Northern Territory, 1.7%. Now there was one more thing that I wanted to highlight here. It's cool how in Australia they've got statistics and they've got categorization of it for all sorts of things. And this is the one that shows me that interests me. So they actually know how much loans are out for investors and for actual people who are actually owner occupiers, right? So they've already segregated that kind of statistic indicators, which is really cool. So you can tell pretty much what's going on in their market. So according to this, owner occupiers for the construction and purchase of new homes increased by 10.1% in the month of March 2013, while loans for established homes net of refinancing was up by 6.2%. So this is where they consider looking at lending to investors. That's the 6.2%. Finance for established dwellings has been rising fairly consistently with the value of loans. So that's pretty interesting. The other thing is I want to highlight is they in Australia they had a rate reduction. That means their interest rates came down. So this was perhaps why the market strengthened, because the interest rate reductions here you can see may be providing support to the weak markets in Australia. So that's pretty cool. Just something that I wanted to highlight. And if we look into the world map, usually I'll look more into Malaysian map, right? So Australia is south east of Malaysia right there. Of course you can't get a direction and the distance because it only calculates the distance by land, right? Land mode. So that's where Australia is. So apparently South Australia is experiencing a real boom. The bigger boom in the growth of lending is in South Australia, right? And the lower boom would be in Queensland and Northern Territory. Just now was at 1.8, 1.7. We just look at that figures again. So New South Wales at 8%. So that's New South Wales. It's somewhere here, where Sydney and Melbourne is. Recently, a couple of months ago, we saw a lot of activities down at Perth, but it's mostly happening. Growth is a lot in these areas, South Australia and New South Wales. So there, just some interesting numbers for you who invest in Australia. Salute to people in Australia. It seems that you've rebounded for some weak property market in Australia. So that was a video review on ahyatproperty.com, Ahyat Property TV. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.